You don't need to own property to make money in real estate. Let that sit for a second. No mortgage, no down payment, no bank approval. There's a strategy that lets you lease someone else's apartment, put it on Airbnb, and pocket the difference. It's called rental arbitrage, and most people who try it fail because they're doing it halfway. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to find the right unit, negotiate with landlords, set up a listing that actually books, and run the numbers so you're profitable from month one. Here's what we're covering. First, I'm going to break down exactly what rental arbitrage is and why it works. Then we're going into the math, real numbers, real markets. After that, how to find a unit and what to say to a landlord who's never heard of this. Then setup, automation, and the one platform most operators ignore. Finally, I'm going to show you a real-world example of how this plays out over 12 months. Stay through all of it. The chapters build on each other. So let's start at the foundation. Rental arbitrage is simple in concept. You sign a long-term lease on an apartment, let's say $1,400 a month. You furnish it, list it on Airbnb or VRBO, and rent it out short-term for $120, $150, maybe $200 a night depending on the market. If you book even 20 nights a month at $130 average, that's $2,600 in revenue. Subtract your rent, your utilities, your platform fees, your supplies, you might clear $600 to $900 profit. Do that across 3 units, and you're looking at real money without ever holding a deed. Now here's what most people get wrong right off the bat. They think this is a hustle. It's not. It's a business. And like any business, the margin lives in the details. The people who fail at this do it in markets that are already saturated, in units that don't photograph well, and without a landlord agreement that protects them. We're not doing any of that. Let's talk about the math, because this is where most beginners either get excited or get scared. Both are the wrong reactions. You want to be analytical. Pull up AirDNA or Rabu. These are market research tools specifically for short-term rentals. AirDNA costs around $16 a month for a basic market subscription. It's worth every dollar. What you're looking for is the average daily rate, the occupancy rate, and the revenue per available room in your target zip code. You want markets where average occupancy is above 65% and average daily rates are above $100. That's your baseline. Below that, and your margins shrink to the point where one bad month wipes your buffer. Now let's run a real scenario. Say you're in a mid-sized city, Chattanooga, Tennessee. A 1-bedroom near the riverfront leases for $1,200 a month. AirDNA shows average nightly rates for comparable units at $145, average occupancy around 72%. That's roughly 21.6 nights booked per month. At $145 a night, you're generating $3,132 in gross revenue. Now subtract your lease at $1,200. Subtract utilities, budget $180. Subtract Airbnb's host fee, which runs about 3%, so call it $94. Cleaning fees if you're outsourcing, budget $35 per turnover, 21 turnovers is $735. Supplies, toiletries, coffee, the things guests expect, another $80 a month. You're at roughly $2,289 in expenses. That leaves you $843 in net profit on 1 unit. Scale to 3 units, and that's $2,500 a month in passive-ish income. It's not fully passive, we'll get to that, but it's real. Now let's talk about finding the unit and having the landlord conversation, because this is the part that stops most people cold. They think landlords will say no. Some will. But a lot of landlords, especially small portfolio landlords with 2 to 10 units, are open to this if you approach it right. Here's the frame you use. You're not telling them you're going to run a hotel out of their apartment. You're positioning yourself as a premium tenant. You say something like this: I'm a professional short-term rental operator. I'll pay rent on time every month without fail. I'll maintain the unit better than any long-term tenant because my guests and my reviews depend on it. I'll cover all utilities. I'll professionally furnish it. And I'd like to discuss a longer lease term, 18 to 24 months, so you have the stability you're looking for. That's a completely different conversation than what they're used to having with tenants. You're solving their problems: vacancy risk, late payments, property neglect. Get the permission in writing. Your lease should explicitly state that subletting for short-term rental purposes is permitted. No verbal agreements. If it's not in the lease, it doesn't exist. Some landlords will want to cut, say 10 to 15% of revenue above a certain threshold. That's negotiable and sometimes worth it to lock in a good unit in a good location. Once you've got the unit, the setup matters more than most people realize. Your listing photos are your storefront. Hire a real estate photographer, not your friend with an iPhone. In most markets, you can get a professional shoot done for $150 to $200. That single investment will recoup itself in your first booking. Furnish for the guest experience, not for your taste. Neutral tones, quality bedding, a good mattress. Guests mention mattresses in reviews constantly. And fast Wi-Fi. Budget $3,000 to $5,000 to furnish a one-bedroom properly. You can do it cheaper with Facebook Marketplace and IKEA, but don't cut corners on the bed or the linens. Your listing title needs to hit on location and vibe, not just Cozy 1BR. That's what everyone writes. Try something like Riverside Retreat, walk to everything, fast Wi-Fi, premium stays. Specific, descriptive, searchable. For pricing, don't set it and forget it. Use a dynamic pricing tool. Price Labs is the standard. It's about $19.99 a month per listing. It adjusts your nightly rate automatically based on local demand, events, seasonality, and competitor pricing. This alone can increase your revenue 20 to 30% compared to flat pricing. Now here's the thing most operators overlook, and I mean most. Everybody knows Airbnb. Everybody lists on Vrbo. But the platform that is consistently underutilized in the arbitrage space is Furnished Finder. Furnished Finder targets traveling nurses, corporate contractors, military personnel on temporary assignment. These are 30-day plus bookings. Think about what that does to your operation. Fewer turnovers, lower cleaning costs, more predictable cash flow. A traveling nurse on a 13-week contract pays $2,200 to $2,800 a month for a furnished one-bedroom in most markets. That's consistent, and these guests are professionals. They're not throwing parties. They're sleeping between 12-hour shifts. If you can run Airbnb for short gaps and Furnished Finder for 30-day blocks, you're optimizing your occupancy and cutting your turnover costs at the same time. This dual listing strategy is what separates operators who grind from operators who scale. Let me give you a real-world picture of how this plays out over 12 months. A guy in his mid-30s, works in logistics, wanted a side income stream, starts with one unit in a secondary market in the Southeast. He leases a two-bedroom for $1,350 a month. Furnishes it for $4,200 total using a mix of Wayfair and Facebook Marketplace. Lists on Airbnb, Vrbo, and Furnished Finder. Month 1, he does $1,900 in revenue. Slow start, building reviews, getting the listing dialed in. Months 2 through 4 average $2,800. By month 6, he's hitting $3,200 consistently. Net profit after all expenses by month 6 is around $1,050 per month. He uses that profit and his W-2 savings to float a second unit in month 8. By month 12, he's running 2 units, netting just over $2,000 a month combined, and he's learned the system so well that he's only spending about 6 hours a week managing both, using a tool called Hospitable. which automates guest messaging, and hiring one local cleaner as his operations anchor. His total out-of-pocket investment was under $10,000. His annualized return on that $10,000 is north of 240%. No mortgage, no equity, just execution. Here's what I want you to walk away understanding. Rental arbitrage isn't magic. It's margin management. It works because there's a permanent spread between what long-term leases cost and what short-term guests will pay for a well-presented, well-located unit. That spread exists in hundreds of markets across this country right now. But markets do shift. Regulations tighten. New operators move in. The window isn't closing tomorrow, but it's not standing open forever either. If you're serious about this, your first move is simple. Pull up AirDNA, pick 3 markets you're willing to operate in, run the numbers I showed you, and identify 5 buildings where you'd want a unit. Then go have the landlord conversation. You only need 1 yes to start. The code doesn't expire, but your window might.